What were you the god of again?
Hey guys, we absolutely loved Thor Ragnarok, but where does it rank in the MCU? And what does it mean for Infinity War? One thing it means is I have the Infinity Gauntlet.
That's fake, bro.
No, it works. Sound effects make it work even better. Okay, maybe it's plastic.
Now, before we jump in, warning guys, there are spoilers in here, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, what are you doing? Get out of here. Go watch the movie now. Afterwards, come back here and subscribe to Universe for more on Thor, including videos on Hela, Valkyrie, and Loki.
All right, let's first start with what we loved, and that is Taika Waititi, the director of this film.
Yes.
Just like James Gunn had the Guardians of the Galaxy and put his mark on those movies, Taika Waititi did an awesome job of bringing his sort of comedy to this film.
Yeah, he left a mark on it. This felt like a complete Waititi movie from beginning to end. Now, Waititi, you may know him from Eagle vs. Shark, What We Do in the Shadows, one of my favorite comedies. He also did Hunt for the Wilder People, and also he's worked on Flight of the Conchords in the past.
It was like almost like a comedy first, then a superhero comic book movie. So I think, and also how he directed these actors. I mean, who knew that these actors had the comedy chops they did? Chris Hemsworth is hysterical, and we knew he had some of that inside himself from the other Thor movies and what he's done. But this one, he really took the source material and turned it straight into a comedy, and he had like a lot of fun with it. I thought it was awesome. Yeah.
We're probably going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy a lot when we talk about Thor Ragnarok, just because it feels like Disney and Marvel said, okay, we love that. Yeah. Now we want that again. Let's get Taika Waititi to just bring that humor in a little bit more.
Let me try. Banner.
Welcome, strongest Avenger.
What?
They're Asgardian gods. And what do you do with that? You gotta strip them from that power that they have. You gotta take that away, because at the end of the day, they can't die. So you have to figure out something to do with them. This was a great twist on that, I felt.
So I mentioned Chris, but other members of the cast, who did you enjoy in this film?
Oh man, Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie was great. Yeah, her role was pretty good. They also called her the Valkyrie too. They made sure to keep it like canon for everything.
Yep.
Man, Mark Ruffalo was utilized pretty damn well in this movie as well.
Yeah.
But honestly, when I think about this movie years from now, it's probably going to be on Jeff Goldblum in The Grandmaster.
Time works real different around these parts. On any other world, I'd be like millions of years old. But here on Sakaar,
yeah, Goldblum was amazing. And you can tell a lot of those scenes were completely improv, with him and Taika just directing him and then trying new things. But it 100% worked. I mean, the whole little bit with the melting stick and him just, reacting like, are you crazy? He's not gonna murder the person right now. Like, it was just hysterical to watch. Like, he's this ruler of these people. He treats them horribly, but he also has some rules and some structure. It was awesome.
It's like, take to the streets, everyone. The way his reactions, everything. It felt like just Jeff Goldblum just unleashed into a Marvel franchise.
It was the perfect role for someone like that.
Yes. Okay, let's talk about Hela real quick. Some people are not going to be fans of the character compared to the comics. She's the sister to Loki and Thor in this movie.
Yeah.
I was fine with it. The one thing I had, though, with that storyline, if you're going to make her the sister, how the hell does nobody, no one knows? Sure, okay, not even Loki, the god of mischief, has no clue that she exists.
Yeah, I agree with you that it's quite a surprise to them. All they have to do is uncover some of the, the little bit of the temple and see exactly what's underneath, the history, the history that really happened.
Yeah.
That was a little bit far-fetched, but I thought she was great in this film. The humor that she played the whole character with was like perfect for the type of movie this was, and she's like one of the biggest villains in a franchise that doesn't really have good villains. Like, I think that she's on the higher end of these villains, and I think that she. We'll get into it later, but she's going to have a role later on in these Infinity War movies, maybe teaming up with Thanos, that is going to provide like a really significant...
They're hooking up.
Yeah, they're definitely
hooking up. It's happening.
So I love what she did with the character.
I don't think so.
Okay, so let's talk about the Hulk for a second.
You're talking about this guy, right?
Yes, that little guy.
This guy is pretty cute, right?
Yeah, okay.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. Now, last time we saw the Hulk, he got on the Avengers Quinjet and flew off into space.
Yep.
And now he's on Sakaar. Sure. Okay.
He hit a wormhole. You know, who knows?
Quick. Sure, they made it quick, and they're like, he's here now. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
He's been there hanging out.
He's here. Everybody, just deal with it and let's move on.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah, a lot of the details kind of just brushed over and just quickly referenced.
Yep.
But in a movie like this, it's not taking itself too seriously, and I think that it benefits from that kind of thing. Like,
Yes.
you don't need to spend so much time with the X's and O's, so to speak, and all the little details. Like, just reference it, make a little funny quip about it, and then move on and tell your news story. So
That's what I
didn't
loved
have
about it.
Yeah, I didn't have huge problems with that.
Also, we can't forget to talk about the battle with Thor and Hulk.
Yeah.
When we talk about the Hulk, that scene, the sun is getting low in here, big guy. Again, another moment where I'm just close to tears. And then they pull that reference right out to go to another reference in Avengers. He's slamming Thor against the ground, and then you got Loki just screaming, "Yeah, take that!" This movie, right then and there, sold me. I was like, okay, I'm in. Totally in.
It was really awesome. And there was, I felt like, a lot more Hulk moments in this film. Like, we got a lot of Hulk. But when it was used effectively, too. It wasn't, it doesn't, by the way, Hulk looks a lot better in every film that we progress into. Like, 5 years ago, it didn't look like this good. It's still cartoony a little bit, but you know, much better than before.
Please, give us our own Hulk movie. I know they're never going to do it, but this works. I love him.
But even Mark Ruffalo's moments where he's, you know, not the big green guy, like, they were hysterical. He's like, "Where have I been? What's going on? What did I miss?
I'm
wait
freaking
a second."
out.
Yeah, it was really well done.
Hulk like fire, Thor like water,
Oh, kind of both like fire.
but Hulk like raging fire, Thor like smoldering fire.
The role that I really did love was Korg, and that was Taika again instilling himself into the film. And then you could have argued that maybe it was unnecessary for a film, but I laughed every single time he was on screen. There's a fine line there too. I know that sometimes you might feel it's a little bit forced and stuff like that, but like, I enjoyed, you know, getting a perspective from another character, an original character in this movie.
Pull me off the...
Oh my God, Hammer pulled you off.
The ground. It would pull me off the ground up into the air and I would fly.
You rode a hammer.
No, I didn't ride the hammer.
The hammer rode you on your back.
Finally, on the cast, let's talk about those cameos in the beginning of the film. I don't know about you, but I love when movies or TV shows get super meta with it and reenact the story with a play inside the show.
Game of Thrones did it.
Game of Thrones did it. We enjoyed that one. And this was just hysterical. And literally when I saw that it was Matt Damon playing Loki, I like died laughing.
Matt Damon, Sam Neill as Odin, and then you got Luke Hemsworth playing Thor.
Yeah, his brother playing his brother Thor. That's awesome.
I loved it. Let's talk about the music and score for a second.
Yeah.
The heavy synths we got from this movie felt a lot like Deadpool. Like they took it, they didn't want to have everything you had from Guardians of the Galaxy. They wanted to take something else, so they used Deadpool's kind of score to get it in there, that synthy vibe. I loved it.
Yeah, me too. I loved it. I feel like a good formula for one of these Marvel movies, not only the acting, funny, epic moments, good CG, but the soundtrack, right? Guardians of the Galaxy, awesome soundtracks all the time, and this one did not like let us down. The use of Immigrant Song was perfect. The Led Zeppelin song was awesome.
Asgard is dead.
We heard it a bunch in the trailer, but when it came in this movie, towards the end, it was just so effective. And I read that Taika actually, when he pitched the idea to Marvel of taking over this film, he put together a reel and he actually used that song in the cut, and then they basically, that sold them on him helming this project, and then they wanted to throw money to get the rights for Led Zeppelin. It was perfect. Another great moment, which we both enjoyed, was when Thor just was first introduced to Grandmaster and that in pure imagination.
I was almost in tears in that scene where he's just in the chair. Again, this is an Asgardian god. Yeah. And he's screaming for death towards the end. He's just screaming like he has no idea what's about to happen. I just love it. You're about to meet the Grand Master. Here comes the Grand Master. Here is the Grand Master. And Thor's just in the chair, just like screaming. I loved it. Okay, where does this Thor movie rank in the Thor franchise? We got two other ones. Where do you put this one?
I think it's pretty obvious, and you guys all better think the same way as I do.
Dark World.
This
Dark
is
World's number one, right?
No way. This is the best Thor movie. Easily. I mean, I'm not making breaking news here. I mean, and the tone is completely different. The other two are a lot more serious. They had moments of brevity and light, playful parts, but a lot of darkness too. This one is completely different. It doesn't even feel like it's from the same franchise, and I don't think it should be thought of like a trilogy at all. This Thor Ragnarok could be its own franchise itself. Like,
It's so separate.
Yeah, it's so separate, and I think that Taika Waititi could make another one of these, and it should just be like Thor Ragnarok 2, not like another Thor movie. Like I feel like it's a entirely new performance by everyone involved, and just the whole tone and feel for the movie is completely different than anything we've seen in Thor. So having said all that, Greg, where does this film rank amongst the entire MCU for you?
Okay, still number one is Winter Soldier.
Okay.
I think that's just well written. That's their best from beginning to end Marvel film when it comes to a character.
Yeah.
Like Captain America utilizing that character and Winter Soldier in the storyline. Perfect.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Homecoming second because I love Spider-Man. That's just I'm sorry. I love
No
Spider-Man.
one's blaming you, yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy right there after that, and then Ragnarok.
Gotcha. That's still pretty high. That's
They're all like 1A, 1B, 1C, but that's it for me. God, I feel like Marvel's gonna come in a second and give us a check. I'm sorry, DC fans. I can't wait for Justice League 2. There you go.
But I think this is an important fact right here that like you do have options when it comes to Marvel films. Like you have the more serious tone of the Iron Mans, which also actually have a lot of comedy, but of the Winter Soldier, and you can also go the opposite side and get the Guardians and get like the Ant-Man vibe and get like Thor Ragnarok. So I agree with you. I think it's just below Guardians of the Galaxy in terms of where it sits in my rankings. Guardians of the Galaxy 1, but I think this was better than Guardians 2. I thought this was a lot better than Guardians 2.
Yeah, the humor. It's all subjective, so it didn't work in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 as compared to this one, where the jokes just felt fresh.
I'm also really excited to see if this film has any impact on future Marvel films, because I mean it's working with the audiences right now. Obviously, it's a lot of people do also have qualms with its kind of too many jokes, like joke after joke after joke.
Yes, that's how I felt for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Right, so it'll be interesting to see if this does have any a ripple effect down the road here when they start making Black Panther looks a little bit more serious, obviously, but the Infinity Wars are going to be like a heist film and all that kind of stuff, and then Captain Marvel. So those don't sound like any comedy's gonna get in there, but
it's all subjective, and Marvel movies in the future may live and die by their humor, depending on who they get and cast as director and writer. Black Panther, like that's gonna be serious. That's not gonna be a comedy. The next one, Black Panther 2.
Who knows?
Maybe they may say, hey, let's change it up. Let's put a soundtrack and jokes. Let's see where this goes. I feel like we've opened Pandora's box. For comedy in Marvel films. I don't know. It's not going to work all the time.
There's a fine line. Yeah. You can't do too much of it because then it'll get annoying. And if the jokes aren't funny, if it feels too forced, it's not going to work, and we're not going to all want to see it. So.
Okay, so Ragnarok's in the title.
Yep.
Technically, Ragnarok took place.
Yep.
Asgard's destroyed. They have to move everybody now on to another planet.
And this happened in the comics before. They actually Thor had to rebuild Asgard in Oklahoma of all places. Which eventually down the road also gets destroyed and blown up in the comics as well. So, like Thor says, Asgard's not a place, it's a people.
Now, instead of Oklahoma, I can see them using maybe Norway.
All right, also, there's no way that Hela is dead. Yes, we saw her fighting Surtur at the end of this film, but they're not going to kill off Hela in one film. She's a big enough villain that she needs to come back, and she's probably going to show up in one of these Infinity War movies.
Yeah, she's the goddess of death. And we talk about that over and over again about how Thanos, he lives for death, basically. So they're going to probably use her.
They'll adapt it a little bit. Yeah, they'll adapt it from the comic books,
muse.
And they're going to make her his love interest. Probably not, maybe not the first film, but maybe the second one. I don't know. We'll see at some point.
Yeah. Okay, so Odin's dead, possibly.
Possibly.
I think what that was is a way for the writer and director to write off Anthony Hopkins and let him decide whether or not Odin's dead and whether the next script is, depending if he likes
if that next script
he likes it.
Yeah, if that next script is good, then he's back.
Yes, he comes back from the field wherever they left him.
By the way, I did have some problems with that field. It looked a little too fake. That green screen looked a little too fake to me.
Well, if you look back at the first trailer, they're in the city streets.
Right,
When she destroys the hammer. So
yeah, they changed that.
They redid it. So who knows? They may have killed Odin off in the other version, and in this one they made him just disappear into another world.
Obviously now Thor has no hammer. Mjolnir's not there anymore, and he has one eye, not two eyes.
Yes, he has one eye. I don't know how long that's gonna last. If Loki does some magic to him to give him an eye back, because we did see in that Infinity War trailer he's got an eye again.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. Even though that could have just been CG. So they
I
can cut it
think
out.
for the leaked footage, the Infinity War leaked footage, I think they did that on purpose to not give any spoilers of everyone freaking out. Like, what the hell is wrong with Thor's eye? You know, before this movie came out. So Chris Hemsworth has recently even confirmed that he will, in fact, be wearing an eye patch for Infinity War. So just like his father, he's gonna look a little bit more like Odin. And unless there's some magic down the road that wants to cure him of his blindness in one eye,
It'll be a producer's magic going, now his eye's back. Just come in there.
Remember, with all the Infinity Stones, you could, reality can change and stuff like that. So like,
Oh no. I'm gonna hate this movie. I know it. The movie's being set up so far for me to hate Infinity War. We'll see though.
all right, quickly on the Warriors 3, they quickly died
Yeah.
at Hela's arrival.
Okay, I know comic fans are losing their shit over this.
Yeah.
Didn't even notice it until I saw the guy with the beard. I was like, oh, that's one of the Warriors 3, I guess. And he's dead. Halfway through I thought maybe that wasn't them. Why would they just kill him off that way?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I didn't have a huge problem with it either. I think what it goes to show is just the strength and the how big of a villain Hela is. It gives her more weight, basically. Like, she took out these comic book characters in this quickly of a fashion. So it just kind of makes her, it builds her up as a more important and menacing character down the road, which, yes, she's gonna come back.
Okay, let's talk about Loki and when he runs through Odin's trophy room.
Yep.
He tries to get the Eternal Flame, but before he gets there, he sees the Tesseract. I'm certain he just pocketed that thing right before he got the Eternal Flame.
Oh, he definitely left the building with that in hand. There's no way he didn't grab that. He's wanted that in his possession since a few films ago, and this is definitely linking us to Infinity War.
Yes.
Because Thanos wants to get his hands on that, obviously, so it completely makes sense for him to grab that at that time.
He sent him a text. Yo, Thanos.
Maybe a tweet.
Maybe a tweet.
Yeah. Twitter's big in Asgard.
Let him know, hey man, I got a little gift for you. It's a little box, Tesseract. It's right here for you.
Hit me up.
Smiley face.
All right, finally, let's talk about those end credits scene. The first one was actually a lot better, or at least told us a lot more of what's going to happen next in the second one. The first one, obviously, our heroes, they're on their ship. They make it out of Asgard that just blew up, and there is a huge spaceship waiting for them. And it's been confirmed that is Thanos' ship. Now, we don't know if Thanos is actually on board that or not, obviously.
Could be the Black Order.
Could be the Black Order. But what we do know from the leaked footage of the Infinity War trailer, Thor gets his ass kicked.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we know something happens, and it's not good to the characters that we know and love. I feel bad for what's going to happen to the Asgardian people on that ship.
That's a good point.
But we know something bad happens, and I have a feeling Loki pulls his trickery on everybody on that ship. Once again. Yeah.
Once again betrays his brother, and it's likely that Thanos or his crew kills a lot of people, beats up Thor and leaves him for dead floating in space, and that's how he lands up on the Guardians of the Galaxy's windshield in that trailer. The second end credits scene was more of a comedic take with Jeff Goldblum crash landing into the junkyard area and meeting face to face with the people that he rules over.
Yeah, the piano in there. Yeah, they make it seem like, oh, they're gonna kill him.
Yeah.
At the very end.
It's implied that they're gonna kill him, that he's gonna die, but
he'll be back.
He's such a powerful being, one of the elders of the universe, that I find it troubling that they would actually kill him that easily. I don't think that's gonna happen. Plus, you and I both want to see him in a scene with the Collector, one of the other elders of the universe, down the road here. It'd be awesome to see those two together.
We'll see if it happens, though. I feel like this movie is going to be very brooding and dark for the next two Infinity War films. We'll see.
All right, guys, that's it for us. Subscribe right over here, and also let us know in the comments what you thought of Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what comic book fans actually thought of Thor Ragnarok. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of head shaking in this movie.
Yeah, let us know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe. We have a ton of Thor content on the channel. We'll see you next time.
Later, guys.